Hey guys, so I thought I would do a little bulletin in case some of you guys haven't heard. I know it's been all over YouTube and on Reddit as well, but Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics recently started selling her cosmetics and lipsticks. A lot of them have had a lot of issues, and I don't know if you guys have seen any of the pictures of them, but they're kind of horrifying. So the first thing that some people have been reporting that's in these lipsticks can be mold. And there's actually a few people that are very allergic to mold, which have had to go to the hospital because of using it. So they're very concerned. There's complaint about having a severe reaction after using the lipstick, and they've reached out to Jaclyn Hill via Twitter for help on that issue, especially if you're really allergic to that. That can be very, very, very bad. Some people are reporting like plastic bubbles inside of the lipsticks, and I didn't purchase them, so I don't have an example, thankfully. Plastic bubbles inside and outside the tube of the lipstick. Many people are reporting deformities of the lipstick, dents, cuts in the lipstick, kind of the lipstick being broken off the tube. And then the worst part of this is some people are reporting that, and I've seen pictures of it, hair and fibers inside of the lipstick. It looks pretty disgusting. So it looks like a lipstick tube with multiple pieces of hair or fur or something coming out of it. So, and then other people are reporting a general gritty appearance, and then the random plastic and hair and mold. And anyway, so I thought I would do a little bulletin in case you guys, any of you guys picked it up. Be very careful. I would not recommend using them, any of them, in my opinion. So the reasons that are being hypothesized for this is Jaclyn Hill originally stated that manufacturers of the lipsticks were wearing cotton gloves while they were making them, and that's where the hair fibers came off of, which makes no sense at all. I don't believe that for a second. In my opinion, that's just a flat out lie, and I don't even know why you'd lie. And there's actually a picture of her from a while ago looking at her lipsticks while she's wearing rubber gloves. So I think that's just a made-up lie because she doesn't know where the hair is coming from. Other people have speculated that some of these lipsticks are multiple years old. In fact, they're hypothesizing that she was making these lipsticks, announced her cosmetic line was going to come out, and then suddenly became embroiled in a divorce from her ex-husband, and are hypothesizing that she didn't want to sell them while she was still married and going through the divorce because she didn't want to have to pay him part of her profits from it. So that could be very true, but I still don't understand how that would make hair and fibers and things like that and pieces of plastic. I mean, I know if things get old, things change, but I mean, I have a couple lipsticks from like, I want to say 12 years ago, maybe. My first tube of lipstick I ever bought, I actually still have, and that doesn't have hair in it. So, I don't know. I do suspect that the products are still pretty old. So, I don't know if you're getting kind of greedy and things like that. It's kind of bad karma to try and divert things and hold on to things to make more money, so you have to split them with your husband. And then it's kind of karma now that they're being sold that they're all really, really bad. And it's probably going to cost her more money in the end than had she just sold them in the beginning. So I don't know if that's a hypothesis. And then other theories state that it's just from miscellaneous third-party vendors selling old product, and she's repackaging it under her brand, getting them at as low as down to 10 cents a tube of lipstick and selling them for $18. So that to me rings probably the most true, is that she just got these from other people that have manufactured them for 10 cents a tube, selling them at $18 a tube. And who knows where they're really made or anything else about it. I think that's the one that makes the most sense, because if I don't know, the cotton glove thing, I don't know. If it doesn't make sense, it's not true generally. So I suspect that it is both the miscellaneous product from random vendors, and it's 4 years old. That's my thought on it. So either that, or it's just made in a really dirty, poorly run manufacturing facility somewhere in a random country, perhaps China. So anyway, so if you purchased any of these, I highly recommend you don't use them. Send them back, get your money back. I wouldn't, even if it looked okay to me at this point, I don't trust anything that they're selling. So that's just me, and I've never had any issues with Jaclyn Hill. I like her eyeshadow palette from Morphe. I never had any problems with that, although it was made in China. I wasn't a huge fan of that, but I don't know. Personally, she seemed like a decent person. So up until some of this stuff happened, now it's like, I don't know. When greed gets ahead of everything else, personal health, personal safety, it's a huge red flag to me, and I really dislike that, especially the mold thing. It really upsets me personally when people's health is being put in jeopardy. So let me get to the other topic of the day, talking about personal health. The JoJo Siwa, Claire's cosmetic line, has had several recalls of products. She was a little kid on Dance Moms. I never watched. I've heard of the show. I've seen clips of it. But it sounds like her parents, I don't think she's 18 yet, so her parents are probably licensing all these deals. And she probably doesn't know anything about it. She's a kid. But anyway, so multiple products from Claire's have been recalled due to asbestos contamination. All these products contain talc, which is known for having relation to asbestos and baby powder and things like that. So I'm not a huge fan of talc in cosmetics. I know it's in a lot of eyeshadows and things like that. I personally, if I can avoid it, I will. If it's in a shadow I like, I'll use it. But in my opinion, I would not buy anything makeup related from Claire's just because it's so cheap. It's probably all made in China, which isn't always bad, but China does have some issues with products that have been contaminated. The dog food scare from like 5 years ago, which I had a dog that got sick from. The drywall, where the drywall from China was melting through electrical cord, melting through plumbing. I don't know, it's always do your diligence. If it's a very reputable, big name brand and they're manufacturing in China, you can probably bet that they're having a huge amount of oversight in there. But still, do your diligence, investigate it. I don't know, if it's $1 eyeshadow palette from Claire's, I'm not going to buy it for my 5-year-old. And I actually have a couple recommendations just because, not that Claire's is a bad brand or anything, but most of their jewelry and things are very cheap and there's nothing wrong with that. But just do your diligence with it. I don't know if it's an eyeshadow palette from a random brand that you've never heard of made in China. I put a pause on it, especially when a little kid's going to use it, just because their immune systems aren't fully formed and kids have a tendency to put things in their mouth and things like that. So if you're looking for a good thing to buy kids, I would recommend purchasing things from e.l.f. That brand is super affordable. A lot of their stuff is made in China, but it's a huge brand, and therefore I think there's more warehouse oversight. And I don't think e.l.f. has had a huge asbestos contamination scare like Claire's, or Wet n Wild, also a bigger brand. So I'd recommend maybe buying something like that for your kids to play with, but definitely not anything that's like a 99-cent eyeshadow palette from a Dance Mom kid made in China. I don't know. Anyway, so those are kind of some of my thoughts. I just want to make you guys aware. I think a bigger issue is, where are all these cosmetics being made that they're having this much contamination, either hair, fibers, plastic, mold, or asbestos? It all kind of comes down to China, which, do your due diligence. That's all I'm saying. That's why I'm always a little suspect, and I always investigate a little bit more in products I review that are made in China, just because you just really don't know unless there's a lot of quality control, and sometimes it's lacking in some manufacturing areas. So anyway, those are kind of my thoughts on the bulletin, so stay tuned. Let me know your guys' thoughts or comments. I'm sure you guys have some, or if any of you guys have purchased any of the products, leave a comment and let me know what your thoughts are. So anyway, thank you guys so much. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and I will see you guys tomorrow with another review.